Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Good evening, listeners. I'm here live in MOOC studio, and we are here for the live session on the course on the psychology of language. Now, from now on to the next 60 odd minutes, what I'll do is I'll take up your questions, some of them which you have posted on this Google Sheet, and some which you will put online, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my capacity. One request before we start is don't try to, I wouldn't say don't, but my request is please don't put those questions which are directly related to the course content into this particular video or in this live session. If you have doubts regarding any of the lectures or course material, put it in the forum, and that will be answered there, because we have more time to look at it. What I expect from this live session is that if you have questions regarding the overall course, about some other queries related to the course, we can take that up. I can listen to what you have to say to me, and we can do that question answer kind of a session thing. So about the overall course, about what aspects it has covered and what all benefits it can give to you. So that would be a much lively session than kind of a question answer session relating to course materials, because for that there is officially a forum out there, right? So we'll start taking up. So good evening, Kanij. Good evening, Malathi. I speak it right, I guess. So that is my only request. So if there are questions related to the course material, to lectures, put it on the forum. There we have enough time to reply to your course related answers. This live session is about a kind of an interaction between us. If you have queries which you wish to ask beside the typical course format, typical course material, that will look into here. You can also keep on posting questions into this Google Sheet, which is a live sheet, and I'll keep on answering them. So, Dr. Malathi, the kind of questions that we are going to put you, or the NPTEL is going to put you, is mostly questions of the multiple choice type, or we call it the forced response types. So one of the answers will be correct, four answer will be provided to you, and a question comes along with it. Now, if you have seen the videos, and more importantly, if you have done the assignments or even seen the assignments and the answer to the assignments, I think you stand a very fair chance of scoring above 80 to 90% in your examination. So my request is to look at the assignments, read the assignments properly, do the assignments properly, look at the answers. If you have questions relating to any answer which has been put in the assignment and which you don't think should be there, put a question onto the forum and we'll answer you there. Look at the notes. We have also provided you notes for each section, and if possible, also read the book which has been assigned to this particular course. Now that will give you an edge. But having said that, even if you don't read the book, just doing the assignment itself or looking at the videos and reading the notes will be fairly enough for taking you to 90%. So that's the kind of questions, or that's the kind of paper that we are going to have. So Meera, very good evening to you as well. So Dr. Malthi, then there's nothing to worry about. If you have done all the assignments properly, all the best for the examination, you're going to score very good. The duration of the exam will be 3 hours, and the questions will be 50 in number. So you will have 2 marks for each question. There is no negative marking. And again, I repeat, if you have done the MCQs which have been provided in the assignment, you stand a very high chance of scoring above 80 to 90%, right? But in addition to that, do also see the videos, right, properly. So what you need to do is you need to see the videos uh, in time. So take a break, take 20 minutes of video, see a 20-minute video, then wait, then again see a 20-minute video, then wait, and read the text which has been provided with it. So there is a text file with each video that we have uploaded. Read the text file, try to see what the video says. If you don't understand anything, put that question onto the forum, and we'll try and answer that. Do remember, this is a psychology course. This is a course related to the psychology of language. So we are not linguists. So questions which is relating to something, a concept which is deep ingrained into linguistics, that we may not be able to answer. The course here is about understanding the psychology behind use of language. Why was language developed for the matter, and what is the role of language in cognition, in day-to-day activity, in people communicating. So that is the goal of the course. Of course, we touch upon several aspects of linguistics, but as I said, none of the people which is in my team are linguists. So we are psychologists who do a little bit of linguistic work, psycholinguistic kind of a study. So that's one other thing. So, Chandan Jain, to pass only assignment is enough. Yeah, just read the assignments, do the assignments properly. That should be more than enough. And Dr. Malathi, as I said, there will be 50 questions. So, 50 questions, 2 marks each question, which makes you 100. And duration is 3 hours. For the examination center, NPTEL will update everything regarding the examination center, regarding the admit card, and the timing. All those things will be updated 1 week before your exam. So that the NPTEL center based in IIT Madras, they will do it for you. So then you can get the hall tickets, and you can, if you want to change your options of the hall of the session you want to take an exam, you can do that when the hall tickets are there. So Shipra Sharma, the assignments, I think each week we post an assignment. I I think you would have done the assignments, right? So each week we post an assignment. There is an 8 week course. So all through the 8 weeks we post assignments. You have to complete this assignment. Then the 6 best assignment that you have done out of the 8 is taken, and the marks of it are merged. It is merged with the total marks that you get in your exam, the final exam, and then a scorecard is generated. So those are the how you get the assignment. You won't have a short note. There is nothing in terms of a descriptive question. All you get is a multiple choice question that you need to answer. If I am reading Srilekha's comment correctly. No, no, Mira, it's not going to affect anything. As I said, there are 8 assignments in total. What we do is we look at the best 6 assignments that you have done. We'll tally the score for that, add the score, and add it into your final work. So if you missed a couple of assignments, that is not going to affect your performance in any way. So, good evening, Purnima. Dr. Malathi, I think they will send you a link for downloading the card in your email, because everything will be posted on the website. So I think that is how they do it. But I'll get back to you on this. Let me talk to the people in NPTEL and get back to you. How do you download the admit the hall ticket? Yes, yes. Uh, Chandra, I guess that's the name. With even with your 6 assignments or 5 assignments, you're going to get the certificate. So don't worry. Take the exam, do the assignments. Even you have not attempted the assignments are still there, right? I guess it is out there. You read the assignments properly. Read the answers to the assignment, and that should be more than enough for getting a good score. More than good score. It will just be MCQ. So even if it is a fill in the blank, it is an MCQ, and this MCQ are has 4 answers in total. It basically means that if you take a simple calculation, a simple probability calculation, which means that even if you tick one answer, the probability of it getting right is 25%, right? Which basically means that the answer is within the 4. So you never get a chance to get it wrong. So the probability of winning is always 25% in such kind of a question. So it is an MCQ kind of a thing. Thank you, Dr. Malati. It's nice to hear praise about uh, when you do a course and people like it. Sri Lekha, I don't get it in terms of what is a mentor. So, why don't you do one thing? You talk to the people in your institute, and maybe they'll help you with this. Because for the course, you don't need to select any mentor. These are lectures which are there. Just read the lectures and listen to the lectures. Look at the notes. If you get time, read a book. If you want some details more than the book, or if you want some details to be explained to you in great detail, put it in the forum. I'll post a couple of papers, or maybe we can do a personal chat session where if you don't understand something. That is how we do it. So mentor wise thing is something which I think your institute will be able to answer for you. From our side, we don't have a mentor kind of a thing. So I think that should answer your course. Uh, what kind of questions? So, as I said, these are multiple choice questions, and these are alike. These are similar to the one that you have in your assignments. So, what happens is when you listen to this course, see, the idea is I do understand that it is a 1 hour lecture, right? And in this 1 hour, people get bored. So, as a psychologist, what I would say is that don't go through the lecture in one go. What will happen is, because since we are in this profession of doing this lecture, so we can shift quickly between topics. For you as a learner, my advice will be, look at 20 minutes of the video or 15 minutes of the video, take a break, try and comprehend what the video says, right? And along with it, read the notes which are accompanying with it, and if possible, make your own notes. If not possible, just read the notes, then come back, do a 20-minute again, and then go back and then again do a 20-minute. That way what will happen is your brain will get enough time to read everything which is in the video and to connect things, right? So brain does a lot of work in terms of connections. But if you try to finish things in one go, what is going to happen is there will be a hodgepodge for everything. It will not get enough time to consolidate, because what happens is throughout the video, 1 hour lecture, we keep on jumping from one thing to the other thing. There are sections in it. Now, since the time is limited, so we need to finish it. We need to put it in a capsule kind of a format, right? So for you, what I'd suggest is read a little bit, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, kind of a thing. Wait, go for a rest, go for a walk, come back, read again, come back, and that way it is called spaced practice. That's also a very psychological method to learn. So if you give breaks in between, that is the best way to actually learn, and so that would be the easiest way to learn anything for that matter, not only this course, anything for that matter. So and the questions is MCQ, as I said, it's from the course. So, Dr. Malti, the exam is going to be online, but it's kind of a local online kind of a thing. So it will, you will not be allowed to sit at your home and take the exam. Rather, what will happen is they'll assign you a center, and these centers are called TCS centers. So you go there, a computer is assigned to you, and for the next 3 hours when you enter the center, till the next 3 hours there is an online exam which is happening. Now this is a local area online or local online exam kind of a thing. So what happens is there is a server which is sitting there, and this server is connected to a central server, and so each person's response get uploaded in real time. But then within the center what happens is it's a kind of a local area network. So whatever 300 500 people are sitting, they are doing it online, technically online, but not factually online. So the response, because the server sweeps the response after every 5 minutes. So whatever you send, so there is a 5 minute delay between what you write and what the server is sending to the central server. So that kind of a thing is online. This is not akin to the online that the online websites are, or the fact that you can sit at your home and take the exam. What they do is they assign you a center, you go to the center, and from there on it is the exam becomes online. No, there are no essay questions in this, only multiple choice questions which are very similar to the questions that you have in your assignment. So it is very similar to that. In the meanwhile, while people are posting questions, I'll also take up some questions from this response sheet. So the first question is, somebody wrote Uttar Pradesh, so I don't know how to answer that, but I think we would have missed something here. Now, the second question is, unfortunately, mixed six assignment in psychology of language, but have come good scores in other assignments. No, it is not going to affect your marks in any way. That's my word for it. Now, the third question is, as a law student, how can I uh, use career in psychology? Now, well, that's very interesting. You do know that a part of law stands in terms of psychology, or a part of law uses psychology, right from studying your opponent to studying the person, the client that you have. It's all about psychology. It's all about human psychology, right? And so, using memory, the idea of reconstruction, construction, the idea of attention, the idea of studying human behavior, that has a lot to do with law. So if you're a good psychologist, definitely you are going to be a good lawyer. A good lawyer requires these skills because he has to understand very quickly the client that is serving, the akin to what a doctor does. Similar to that, a lawyer is also in that profession, and these professions have inbuilt idea, or they have this inbuilt technique of studying the client that they're dealing, also the opposition that they're dealing, because these people that we have, all of them are people, and so knowledge about people is very good. So understanding, and I think a law courses should have a course in psychology. I don't know whether they have it or not, but understanding the humans, understanding the behavior of humans, or why people do what they do, or making a prediction about what people can do, will give you a good idea about preparing good defenses or preparing good offenses, uh, stand and makes you stand a high chance or high probability of winning a court, actually case in the court. Now it is also about not the Indian legal system, but if you go across the world, you have something called a jury legal system, where you have jurors. So there, convincing the juror to think in terms of what you're saying is again beauty of human psychology. So how do you convince people? That also, so good defenses which can convince people from subjecting your client to some kind of a punishment. So that said, law has an integrated part, or it says it has a lot of influence from psychology. So if you know the principles of psychology, if you know the ins and outs of psychology, that is definitely going to help you to become a very good lawyer. Either it is preparing a good defense, either it is convincing your jury, or using the unfair practice of saying that psychologically insane kind of a thing. So that's a very good defense. You kill someone and then if you can prove, so law works on intent, the idea of intent, how the intent was. Now, if you have a good idea about the human psyche, and if you can prove that the intent of murdering someone or of killing someone was not malice, law would always be in your favor. But then for that, you need to have a good understanding of the human psychology, right? And they call it temporary insanity, this kind of a plea. people have been get granted less punishments or no punishment at all from temporary insanity laws, right? But then you need a good idea, you need a good convincing reason of why it was done, and that comes from understanding the psychology of people. Uh, Dr. Malti, new courses for the next session. Right now, I'm not proposing anything, but I think in the next session, I'll have a course on engineering psychology. That, given the fact that this NPTEL team has to approve of it. There are three more courses that I usually take. One is on the consumer psychology, the other is on cognitive psychology, and the third is about human behavior, beside the course of language. But I'm also planning on a new course on engineering psychology that's to do with engineering students and ergonomics and design of things. So that still in the pipeline, it's not been approved as of yet, but that would be a new course. And as I said, beside this, there are three other courses that I keep on doing. Kanij, no, there is no negative marking for this exam. Hansem, explain in one sentence about the course, sir. In one sentence about the course, so starting now, this course is about everything we are doing right now, right? So what does it do? This course is about communicating, this course is about exchanging ideas, this course is about why people need to exchange ideas, and this course is about the medium that people use for exchanging ideas. So I and you are talking, and when we are talking, we are exchanging ideas. Maybe you're expressing displeasure, maybe you're expressing pleasure, maybe you're trying to understand me, all those things. So this course is all about me and you interacting, and that is one of the things which are necessary for being a social being. If we are a social being, we have to be the society. If we have to be the society, there are certain norms, we have to act according to people in the society. For that, we need to understand each other, because if it's a good, had it had been a society where everybody is for himself, it would be a much better thing. But since we live in civilized societies, we need to understand each other, and we need to communicate with each other so that we understand each other, or we need to express ideas. And for that, the medium for that is language. Now, what we do in this course is we look at the psychology behind this particular expression. Shumisri Das. So, what you could do is, as a computer student from computer science, this course of language, so it basically, you can think about modeling, you can think about studies in speech production or speech perception. Now there are a large number of neural networks, or there are a large number of developed neural networks for speech perception. One good example is, think about how does Google perceive speech? How does Google understand what we say? Now, akin to what Siri does, Siri has a way of looking at things. So, if we accent something, Siri will not be able to understand it. But it's not true for Google. With our language, with our accent, and with thousands of accent in the Indian language, Google can still understand that. So, you can think about that kind of modeling. Also, we have, as I have explained in the course itself, the human brain was never prepared for, or was never meant to read, write, or to speak for that matter, right? So, the Broca area and the Wernicke area, the reading writing center is a force center. Both this Wernicke area, broadband area 44 and 46, I think, the Broca area and the Wernicke area, these are all newer areas, because our very closest cousin, the chimpanzees, they don't have these specialized areas. So you can also think about studying these areas in detail and finding out what happens when a child fails learning, right? That kind of a thing. So you can look at speech perception, you can look at speech engines, you can look at programs which can do automatic grammar corrections for people on how to do this grammar correction there, or maybe you can think of a new language in itself, right? So with certain rules, or how do these languages work. So there's a lot of possibility if you look into it, and so all of this can really work. Counseling psychology, no, I don't have a counseling psychology course, but if people want it, then maybe we can think about planning one. Uh, so at least to pass examination, should we focus more on the text notes and assignments? Yes, completely on the text notes and assignments. Again, as I said, Arati, even if you score less than average in the exam, and if you do the assignments good, the total will be always good. That is why we focus on the assignment. As well, we say that focus on the assignments. So if you do the assignments nicely, and even if you do a little bit bad at the examination, all of them turns out to be good average marks. So that is how things should work. English literature and language, I'm really not very sure about that because I don't belong to English. The course, as I said, is all about understanding how we communicate. What is the need of communication, right? It does have portion, as I said, it does have portions from linguistics, right? We are not linguists. So it tells you why do we need word or how do we produce speech. It can tell you that. It can tell you how, what, why it is needed, but how do you do it exactly, or how the stress and unstressed syllables work, or how the iambic pentameter that kind of a thing works. We are also not trained for that. So at the best, the course gives you an idea of what is the psychology behind the use of language. Okay, Dr. Malti, I note your suggestion. So what I'll do is we'll think about putting a course on educational psychology. Good mark scoring, three tips: assignments, one, your notes which you have, and the lectures, taking a break and reading the lectures too. And if you want very good marks, get one of these books that is prescribed there and read it. That will be the best thing. But if, even if you don't read the book, or if you don't go through the book, assignments and videos and notes which are related to the video should be more than enough. So that's the tip. uh, Srilekha, what I'll do is, why don't you post this question into the forum and we can discuss it there if you don't mind, right? Because since I said this is about an interaction, and so if I take most of my time in doing this, it won't be fair to other people, right? So my request is put this question about your MLU in the forum, and we can discuss it there, and maybe we can do a one-to-one chat there. Shivangi, good evening. Most see, the questions are going to come from all the topics, at least. And so, what is going to happen is that you don't need to just focus on one topic. The questions are equally distributed from all the topics. As I said, and as I go on saying again and again, it is all about doing the assignments and the notes. If you do the assignments nicely, do the notes nicely, look at the video lectures properly, with time, and try and understand and comprehend that, I think that should be able to answer your question and also provide you good marks. So, on a very cursory note, what you're saying is correct, Srilekha. But hall ticket them is something which will come 1 week before the exam starts, so that the NPTL team will do for you. They'll post it on your on their website, and then you can download it from there. Let's also take some questions from this Google forum. So. how much the course is going to help in career activities. So depending on what career do you want, the course is will be helping in what career is you are choosing. If you are in a career of communication, or developing yourself into computer science, maybe in neuroscience, or even in a little bit of language and linguistics, and do want to understand, particularly in psycholinguistics, and do want to understand how people communicate, or if you are even working for a company and want to understand how people communicate for developing speech engines, that kind of a thing, I think that is where it is. And for the general population, the course is interesting in the sense that it gives you an idea of what is language, what is the need of language, right? I'll tell you one interesting thing. See, most of us are afraid of grammar. You will agree to me that if I tell you a sentence and if it is grammatically correct or wrong, you can detect it. But if I ask you, so if I say Ram village going, you will immediately catch the sentence and you'll immediately say that there is something wrong with it, right? There is an intuitiveness. So you can tell me, but there are people who will not be able to tell me the grammar. So this grammar identification of where it is wrong, this comes automatically, right? And so this knowledge of this course will give you some idea of not only in terms of how child develops. So if you read theories of child psychology like Vygotsky's theory or Piaget's theory, that will give you an idea of how child develops. Look around you, there is a lot of attention on small children. You have these white hat junior, this junior, that junior, and making your children progress higher, learn new concepts, and do all this kind of a thing. Although there is a psychologist called Flynn who basically says that with every passing year, with every passing decade, the average intelligence goes on increasing. But the fact is that the child's brain is very limited because the development takes place in stages. And so, if we try to surpass these stages, what is going to happen is the child, you can feed exterior knowledge, but then this idea of a concept, or the idea that how these concepts are developed, that will not develop in the child. And because of that, what will happen is he'll not be able to progress further. So the development of this course will also tell you how and what language can do, or how concepts are taught. A very good example that I take from child psychology is small children who are 3 years, 2 or 3 years of age, take a tumbler filled with water and take a flat surface and pour the water from tumbler to the flat surface. Now, people or children who do not have a concept of uh, this volume, they will think of it as magic because the volume has decreased. So the amount of water has decreased. But so that is what I've been telling. But why they are surprised is because they don't have the concept of volume. Right? They cannot understand the concept of volume. They cannot think in terms of 3D and how 3D and 2D can be calculated. So what this course is going to do is it is also going to tell you how to bring to actually see these changes in your development of your children. So that is also another thing that you can do. So in terms of career activities, there are several careers that you can choose in. Maybe it's neuroscience, maybe it is psychology, maybe it is linguistics, maybe it is in terms of computer engineering. All those places it is going to help. But this is a very basic course. So there what will happen is you will have more advanced course. To focus on mental health or calm yourself and remove stress. So stress is something which we all have been up. So how do you remove it? See, if frankly speaking, you cannot take out stress from the equation, right? But what you can do is you can reduce it. And one way to reduce it is to remove the neurotic paradox, to remove the center of it. Basically, stress happens when we try to think about a thing and we try to think all the negatives about a thing. So when you are getting stressed about something, try to focus somewhere else. Try to regulate yourself somewhere else. Think about something positive. Think about something else, and that way, what will happen is stress will come down. You cannot take stress out of equation. And also remember that a minimum amount of stress is necessary for good performance, right? So there is the idea of u stress, e stress, and that kind of a thing. So a minimum amount of stress is necessary, but if you are very much stressed, the first thing that you need to do is to leave that neurotic paradox, to leave that center which is causing you problem, right? And the best way to do that is, I'll suggest yoga. If you can do a little bit of meditation to concentrate yourself. Now obviously when you are in yoga, what will happen is not that when you close your eyes and you chant something or you try to calm yourself down, you will get into a trance phase. That's not going to happen. But at the best, what will happen is you'll try to focus yourself. So when you're doing this exercise is something which I tell people to do is, every day you should probably try doing it, maybe for half an hour, maybe for 15 minutes, whatever time permits you. Close your eyes, settle yourself somewhere, and try focusing on your breathing. So breathe out and breathe in, kind of a thing, and don't think of anything. Now I know it is not possible to not think about anything. The mind is a wonderful thing. There is a concept in psychology which is called mind wandering. The mind can wander everywhere. The best thing to reduce stress is to focus for 15 to 20 minutes every day just on your breathing. Just count the number of breaths which is there, count the amount average breath which is there, and what will happen is that will calm you down. That's the best way to, in my opinion, that's how will you can reduce your stress. Above 90% Nathaniel, I don't think you can do just with the notes and the videos. If you want to go above 90%, you'll obviously have to read the books, yeah, because there's everything is not there. As I said, there are some things which the book will only contain, and we always put in questions which will benefit people who have taken the books, and but that is only 5% of the questions. So if you want to get a 100% marks, if you want to get the highest marks, if you want to get attain the mastery into it, obviously you have to go back to the book which I use, or which actually help us in developing the course. But yes, near about 80 to 90%, I think that should be enough with your the assignments as well as your course lectures. Dr. Malti, what will happen is, I think as soon as the exam is over, there is a moderation session, and after the moderation, once we finalize the scores are posted. So I think 1 week should be the time which they should take, within which they will post the certificates to you. Tanzim, no problems with 8 assignment. If you miss 2 assignments, which gives us 6 assignment, what we'll do is we'll take the 6 assignment and average the score. So no problems there. Thank you for the praise. And that's what it is. Okay, Bina. So thank you. Let's take some more questions from this forum here. So what will be the pattern of the exam? So answer these questions. It is multiple choice, 50 questions, 2 marks each question, 3 hours. That's what the thing is about. Same question here. So Ladakh. So some question which I think this student has not put, but if you can redefine this question, maybe we can take it. MA in psychology, I want to do diploma in counselor, please guide me. If you have an MA in psychology and if you want to be a counselor, the first thing that you need to do, uh, thank you, Dr. Malti. Uh, so what you need to do is, first you need to have a degree in counseling, right? So you have to have a diploma in counseling, and that I think there are several. My suggestion would be either CIP Ranchi, which does counseling, gives you certificate of counseling, or you may try with NIMHANS, or there are a couple of other centers also which I know of. Now, since I'm not from counseling, I'm not very sure where you can get it, but these are the best which can give you a counseling diploma or a degree, a diploma, and that should be enough for you becoming a counselor. Now, depending on what kind of counselor do you want to do, you want to be an educational counselor, you want to be a child counselor, you want to be um, uh, what do you call it, clinical counselor, that depends upon what kind of diploma you have with it, right? So, but I mean, counseling should not be enough. Is that is what I understand. You have to have a diploma for that. So I did explain the course in one statement, which is whatever we are doing right now is what the course is about. Question paper pattern is MCQ. You wish to know the center address. You will get the center address a week before the final exam. That's what the NPTEL will put it. Okay, so no more questions here. Let's take questions from here. So Dr. Malti, thank you. Hansim, how to buy that book, sir, and the book name. So book's name, you will find it in the course website itself. Underground at the bottom of the course, the references are there. Buying the books, you can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it from Barnes and Nobles. You can buy it from Oxford University Press. Wherever is possible for you. The best is think about Flipkart or maybe Amazon, and they should be able to give you the books. You can also visit your local library and maybe they have the book with them, and that could be a way to get the books. Arati, so what is the average score to get the e-certificate? E-certificate, I think there is very less average they require, but why do you want to get the average score? Try getting good scores. If you have done the assignments properly and if you have done the course also, the exam also properly, you will get good marks, so don't worry about that. Tamalti, thank you. No negative marks. Thank you, Shilika, Shiv Kumar, Meera. Thank you, Meera. Right, so if you have questions, you can put it at the chat here, or thank you, Thansen. Thank you, Arati. To all of you who are here, I thank you all for being here. What is the qualification to get a license from RCI as a counselor? Priyanka Gupta. So, Priyanka from RCI is Priyanka. What I'll do is I'll ask a friend of mine who's a counselor, and maybe he can give you this information. So just wait for it. I'll ask this question to a friend of mine. What is the qualification needed for getting a counselor license? But I think license should be the license should be you have to pass a license exam and then they give you a license. But I'll get back to you on this. Shivangi, the video lectures and text notes are really helpful, sir. Using video lectures are very interesting. So thank you, Shivangi. Any other person, if you want to ask questions, I'm here. Let's do this. We have some 20 odd minutes to finish this session. Of course, there will be other sessions also, and you're welcome to join my other courses also. So next semester, we'll have a course on cognitive psychology and human psychology or human behavior. The cognitive psychology course is particularly interesting because it will add up to what you have done in psychology of language. It will tell you the concepts of why we do what we do about the human cognition. And so people who are really interested in moving along this line, people who want to take in psychology or understand concepts in cognition, my suggestion would be to enroll to that course. Right, two more courses which I need to float, which people have suggested. Dr. Meera has suggested, and some other people also have suggested is a course on educational psychology. So I'll try and do that. I'll put up a course and let's see if it gets it's if it gets approved, then we will definitely have that course for you. Thank you, and I'm also glad to meet you all here. If you have other questions, we still have 20 odd minutes, maybe 15 odd minutes to finish this session. I'm waiting here. If you have questions, please ask. You can put the question in this Google response sheet. You can put it in this session itself. You're free to do both the things, right? And as I said, the course was about language, about teaching, about understanding each other, about passing of ideas. So we started off by looking at how human language developed. We looked at the scientific study, so how to do experiments in language. Very briefly, we looked at how the speech is produced and speech is perceived, and we moved on to the concepts of words, sentences, that kind of a thing. The word sentences, reading and writing, and then looking at bilingualism, basically two languages speaking together. Right. So this is how the course content was. This is the flow that we have. Okay. Uh, about the new courses through our mail, sir. Okay, Dr. Malti, I'll do that. Send me an email with your email, and whenever I have a new course, I'll put that course for you. I'll let you know if there is a new course for us, right? I think that is the best way to communicate. But this NPTEL, they always advertise new courses, right? So if you wish on doing a course next semester, of course I don't have any new course in next semester, but I have my course in cognitive psychology. It's a light course, people have liked it before, and so it will give you a basics about what psychology is about, what cognition is about. So that should be the basis of that course. Yeah. Child psychology, I'll try to do a course on Sri Lekha on child psychology. Uh, but the problem is, see, uh, there is a cap on how many courses you can actually take, right? So I'll try to float a course. I'll put up a proposal and let's see if it gets passed. I'll definitely put up a course on child psychology. That is something that I also wanted to do for a long time. All right, so if you are from the child education or from the child development program, you will understand that it's important to understand how the child develops. Now, what is happening around us is that there's too much information, and children are growing at a very faster rate. Too much information actually ruins you. So that's what we as a psychologist tell you, right? So that has to be, if you are from psychology, you'll understand there is something called um, uh, a positive regard, right? That's a concept which Albert Bandura talks about. Uh, so what he says is we cannot be too affirmative, neither we cannot be too punishing, and so we have to provide the child the right amount of help as a parent. So that all things should be there for people to read and understand. It's all there in the books in psychology, but for the general people, it should be out there. So I was also thinking of a course on child psychology. Let's see if we can allowed to do a course like that, on how quickly we can develop that. I'll try to do that course. Okay, Dr. Malti. So this application oriented, yes, you're very right. Application oriented courses like human engineering. So human engineering has to do with something called ergonomics, right? And so that's something which you can always think about taking. It's about design of things. There's a book called Design of Everyday Things by Donald Norman, and they talk about how design is used in minimize. So, for example, what is the idea of a machine? A machine is something which is going to lessen the effort, right, which you do. So basically when you're designing also, the design should be such that it should assist the humans, right? So why I was thinking about a course in engineering psychology is because it will tell you about what all can go wrong and what how to get the best out of machines. Of course at the top of it there'll always be, no matter how much of artificial intelligence you talk about it, there's always been operator, a human operator at the top of it. So what we can do with it is that's what I was interested in. That's what I was interested. But since there are other proposals also, maybe we can think about new courses. Counseling psychology. Yeah, we can take about counseling psychology. Paranormal psychology. So most people. I see most people uh, will not associate themselves with paranormal psychology. But if you are interested, we can discuss a little bit on paranormal psychology. My area of research is sleep, so not very close to it, but we sometimes tend to see things like that. So maybe that will help you. So Priyanka, necessary to internship before we get employed in the field of clinical psychology. Do the better internship in private clinic or government organization. Priyanka, a best thing would be government organization. A private clinic is good, but a government organization is better because the certificates have value. One thing. Also, government organizations. So you've seen government hospitals, right? You get a range of patients there, and so you get a more experience out of it. I belong to Benares, so if you ever go to the IMS, which is the Institute of Medical Sciences, the medical college with it, Benares Hindu University, if you look at that, you each doctor has like less than 2 minutes for teaching a patient, but then there's flow of patients, and so the experience that you get from government organization is a lot more because people from certain classes or from each class can appear there. The fees still now you won't believe in Benares University Medical College is 10 rupees, which is far less than any other clinic I can think about. So you get a range of patients, you get a range of experience, and so government organization is the best to be get a training in. I'll think about this. I'll talk to my friend about RCI or the certificate thing. I'll get back to you, Priyanka. Yeah. Okay. And Dr. Malthi about counseling psychology. I'll think about a course in counseling psychology. Let's see how many of these gets approved. Okay. Okay. So if you still have questions, Dr. Malti, thank you for noticing that. But then it was a bad patch of this cuff which was there. It was not going away. But since the time constraint was there and we had to do it, now it's all okay. So we had to do it at that point of time and finish it. So I had to do it somehow. So my team here they helped me a lot by uh, taking away portions of the video, and we kept on doing it over and over again till that cuff thing was taken out. Okay, Priyanka, that's very good. So, BHU's Shivangi, yes, Shivangi, there is a wing, IMS wing, sorry, psychiatric wing in IMS BHU, and that I think Dr. Srivastava was there long back when I passed out from that institute, a long time back, but. Still they have this it's a very nice psychiatric wing so you can maybe talk there or maybe um, talk to people out then they'll tell you the briefs of it. Yeah. Okay. So other questions if you have if you put it in the Google forum or here I'm here, right? So have if you do not have questions, I think we can. Best psychology course to proceed in the future. Start with introduction to psychology, and then we'll think about it. Of course, my likes would be mathematical psychology. There's a course on mathematical psychology. That's the best, which I'll say. Or cognitive psychology, the mathematical cognition of psychology. That's the best course. But stay with general psychology and stay with consumer. If you want to attain more about the markets or interactive with people, stay with consumer psychology. That's the best one. So, thank you, Dr. Malti. Thank you, Shivangi. So, if you have no more questions, and if you have still, if you are left with doubts, in the hospital side if you want to stay Nathaniel, the best thing would be doing clinical psychology or if you can get uh, something to do with system neuroscience or maybe cellular neuroscience, then you can stay with the hospital side because there's a pathology department and you can associate with that, so that should be the best thing, right? So all those friends of mine who are there watching me right now, um, we are nearing the end of this session. If you still have questions or if you want to some questions to be answered which you think is necessary, put it on the forum. For now what we'll try is do is I'll take leave from you And next time when we meet in some other course, we'll do this live session and I'll be answering you there. So for now, from here in the studios of MOOCs, when I'm doing this live session, it is thank you all for joining this course and goodbye.